Hello. So I'm interrupting my Sunday deep cleaning because I forgot to do a check-in. I want to do check-ins weekly when it comes to like the main monthly goals that I've set for myself, just to make sure that I'm doing what I need to do to reach the goals, if that makes sense. And so we can all check in together and hold each other accountable and hold ourselves accountable. With this weekly check-in, I will say it's the first week of April, so we're in April now, working towards the April goals that I went through with you guys. If you missed that one, I will leave it somewhere on the screen so you can check that out after this one. But I have some good news and I have some bad news. So good news is that I now have a wall. I have a wall in the living room, and the little piece of the ceiling, I have that patched up, drywalled, and primed, ready to be painted. And I also have my garage back. So I have the ceiling and the walls back in the garage, so I can now use my garage. I will say, like, I was responsible for getting the paint, and once again, kind of like with the roof, I am not to be trusted with materials. So we did run out of paint in the garage. I just got like basic eggshell white, you know, and it does look a little splotchy, but it for some reason didn't match the color that was in there before. But girl, I'm like, I told them this is a garage, I don't care. Whatever you can get with these 2 gallons of paint that I gave you, just get there, and nothing's gonna be in there but my car and some junk, right? So unless I'm trying to sell the house or rent it out, I'm not really worried about what it looks like in there paint wise. The fact is that I have a ceiling and I have walls now, so that's the good news. I think I went a little over budget with these repairs. I'm not quite sure, but it wasn't bad enough for me to have to, you know, pull anything from my emergency fund or use a credit card. So I'm just going to say that, you know, everything is good, and hopefully that's the last repair that I have for a while, but knock on wood, we're just gonna roll with it. Bad thing. So I did go and get my oil changed the other day, and this has impacted like what I say I want to do for this month, and we'll go into like my little planner and just try to map it out. But I went to get my tires rotated, and bad news was that, you know, the little tire pressure thing that's always coming on with like the little squiggly line underneath it, it would go on and go off, and I'm that person, like, if it goes off, sis, I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm not gonna worry about it, because I'm like, oh, it was just the, you know, the sensor doing something funky. But unfortunately it was a problem, and I had to spend $500 on 2 new tires, because they recommended if I just not redid, but got a new tire, that I would need to balance it out by having the opposite tire on the other side new too. And so that's what I wound up having to do, and that cost me obviously $400 more than I was planning for. So that did come from my emergency fund, because I did not quite have enough in my car maintenance fund. I believe I had like 200, so I had to pull the rest from the emergency fund, but it's all in the same ally account, so, you know, I just paid it from there. But it does not stop there. So the engine maintenance notification has popped on. It is not the engine check engine light, thank God. It's just an energy maintenance sensor that's going off, and from my Google calculations, it just seems like with Toyota RAV4s, this is common. This is a common problem. Mine is a 2020, I believe. I bought it used, and it looks like it's going to cost me about $700-800. It is like a coolant bypass valve, whatever, and the expected cost is like $700-800. That's if I go to the dealership. There is a auto shop that I would always take my Mazda to, that I'm probably going to go to, because they were always able to do it for me cheaper than the dealership. But I am still expecting to come out of like $800, and of course I will map out how I'm going to do that as well in the planner. But I don't think that it should knock me off of, you know, I'll knock me off balance too much, but yeah, that is what is going on for April. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and start recording my screen, get up this planner. Let's walk through this, talk this out, because I'm gonna hit the main goal. Like, city is gonna be gone this month. It's gotta go. So I really want to get my kitchen remodeled, and that is the only thing that is honestly really motivating me, because paying off debt just to say I paid off debt is not motivating me anymore. Like, you guys, if you watch my last video I uploaded where I'm like, debt freedom was anticlimactic to me, it still is, and I'm just trying to find new ways to like sneakily motivate myself to continue to pay off debt and save money and all that good stuff outside of just being an adult, a responsible adult. So I'm like, okay, if I get all of this paid off, all of my cards, the remaining cards, the remaining student loan, then I can start saving for my kitchen remodel. So that is what your girl is using as motivation to trick herself. So let me go ahead and get this planner up, and then we'll start planning. Okay, so we are now recording. So really quickly, for April, I want to pay off my smallest city card. I did start the month with $877 left on this card. I wanted to get the garage and the living room wall fixed, and to put $200 on my other city card, which will be the last credit card, to get it to $2,700. So I did start the month with $2,937 as the balance on the second city card. And then here's my receipts down here. So let's start with our main goal, which is the smallest one. I have good news and bad news. Good news is that my balance, let me check really quickly. My balance is now at $252 even. Let me screenshot that just in case, just so I can have it for the video. But yeah, so I am under $300. It is April 7th, so I have the rest of the month to get this remaining $300 paid off, or $252, and then I'm done. I am done with the main goal. I did tell you guys, like with the garage and the living room, the garage is done, but the living room wall is not yet completed because they still have to paint, and I paid them to do an accent wall, so I expect an accent wall for the smallest wall in my living room. So yesterday, I'm gonna go ahead and just focus on city for right now with my receipts. Now for the bad news. So if you watch my April monthly planning video, you saw that I scheduled a $500 payment, which is why I put that I am starting the city card balance at $877. So it was like at, what's that, 13, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, yeah, $1377. But since I had scheduled the payment and it would be applied like when April started, I said I'm starting out the month with $877. Bad thing is that I forgot I scheduled the payment. So when the funds came through, I made an extra $500 payment. So imagine my horror whenever $1,000 got taken out of the account, because that is not what I budgeted for. So I forgot I had one pending that would take the funds after the deposit was put into the account. So when I actually saw the deposit, I was like, oh yeah, I'm making a $500 payment. And so I sent 2 payments, which is why it's at $252 right now. Good thing is that, you know, when it's paid off, it's paid off. So hopefully I recoup that money. But it was not the funnest thing, you know, seeing an extra $500 being taken out of your account and you did not plan for it. So that is the bad thing with the city card. But whatever, you know, I made it do what it do. Now I did make another payment of $100. Let me see. Yes, so I'm gonna go ahead and put in the rest of my receipts. So during our last video, March 26th, I said I scheduled the $500 payment, and then I made a $5 payment. I think I skipped coffee that day, And so I just wanted to get into the habit of sending over something extra. I don't care if it's 50 cents. I'm sending it something extra just to get me into the habit. And I have been, since I've been off social media, minus YouTube, because honestly YouTube, I use YouTube a lot differently. I can control the content I absorb and what I'm actually being shown, because I'm specifically searching for something. I don't use the shorts tab. That to me is like asking for, what do they call it, doom scroll or whatever. I'm just strictly long form content. But I have had a lot more free time, obviously. So I've started reading Think and Grow Rich, which is similar to The Psychology of Money, if you've read that. I have made it maybe like not even a fourth, maybe a fourth of the way through the book. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it all the way through. I don't really know. I'm not loving it at all. I love The Psychology of Money. I'm not loving this. But I think I might, I'm going to try to get through it. But to kind of offset my underwhelm with that book, I also got Atomic Habits. So I've started reading that. I love it. Love Atomic Habits. And so I have been just trying to implement little small changes to hopefully motivate me to like be on fire for money again, as far as like accomplishing things. But it may not work. I may just have to be on fire for things that are actually lighting a fire under me, and just like make sure that I'm still being responsible with money. You know, I'm trying, and that's what I'm doing here. I'm trying. So anyway, that really motivated me to make the $5 payment. So I made, let's see, I made a $5 payment to smaller city. And then unfortunately on March 28th, I made an extra $500 payment on accident. And then on April 3rd, I did make a payment of $100 to the small city. Okay, and that is what got me to $252. This one's not accruing any interest, so all of my payments go straight to the balance. And then now I am at, let's see, $252, and today is the 7th. Okay, and then we will talk about how I'm going to pay off the $252, especially since I paid $500 for tires and I am expected to pay $700. Hopefully the auto shop that I go to is a little cheaper, but I would say at least $700 to get the issue fixed with the engine maintenance sensor. Okay, so I do want to do an update on this one also. If today is the 7th, so garage is complete. And then the priming is complete for the living room. And then for the other city card, that one is now at $2,908. I honestly don't remember making a payment. So let me see. Okay, I don't know. I'm just gonna say, obviously I made a $30 payment. It's not showing me for some reason. It says I don't have any transactions, and it doesn't show it on my other statement, but I'll take it because it's cheaper. I mean, it's a lower balance. So $30 payment to bigger city, and now that one is at $2,908. $908. Okay. All right, so doing pretty good. And now the obstacles are car repairs, maintenance. That was unexpected. And to offset the issues that I am having, once again, I do have an extra payment coming in from outside work. That will be $2,500. So that's going to cover obviously the remaining city balance to get that knocked off, and it's also going to help me pay for the bypass valve, whatever it is that I'm going to be needing because of this engine maintenance issue that I'm having. And so that will leave me with, what is that, like $1,500, and that will also help me to pay on this city card too. As long as nothing else comes up, I'm feeling okay. Like, I should be okay. I've got backup funds, I've got a backup plan. Everything should be okay. And I did put extra money in my emergency fund last month, so that's the only thing that's keeping me sane right now. But I'm feeling good. April is off to a really good start. I'm not, like I said, I'm not really going to stress myself when it comes to hitting these goals and going extra hard, because that's just not what I need right now. I may fool around and quit, to be honest with you. So I'm just going to go at my own pace and be proud of myself, because I'm doing what I need to do and I'm showing up, and I am also, you know, pouring into other areas of my life. So let me know down below, like, how are we doing? How are we doing for April? What are our goals for April, and how are we going? I know we're only like a week in, but I promise you time is flying by for some reason, and before we know it, we're going to be closing out the month of April, and I want to make sure that we're all hitting the goals that we say that we want to hit. So leave them down below, let me know how they are going, and I will catch you guys in the next video.